Welcome back to the Micro Vlogcast, everybody. I'm here with Wendy and Cindy. We're talking all about environmental health and safety and how it connects with sustainability and how Cornerstone and Foresight have merged together to form one company offering all of these services to our collective clients. We work with companies not in manufacturing, this is true, but we have a particular focus on manufacturing. I mean, 90% of our clients are making things. They might be the brand name, they might be in the supply chain, but most of our clients and our real specialty is around companies who manufacture things. And I want to talk about a case study today, and what's kind of cool about this case study is technically the actual client is a private equity group that owns a bunch of manufacturing companies. And this is Cindy's customer going back however long, and you can tell all about it. But really, I'd like to hear the story. Tell us about this private equity group, what you did for them before, and what we're doing for them now.
Okay. Yeah, my attraction to using or working with private equity groups has been over the years. I've kind of been one of the, probably one of the first employees on the sales side that was helping an increasing amount of clients with multiple facilities.
Yep.
And I really enjoyed that work. I enjoy working with the corporate people and really coming up with a plan to make sure that we're in compliance first, but then to start looking at bigger picture on how we can just improve things.
Yeah.
And I was actually, I don't want to go on and on about this, but I was at IU with my daughter in a sorority parent deal.
Sounds like a good topic for another episode.
And I met one of the dads, and the dad is a partner at a private equity group. And we started chatting, and he said, so I hear you do, what you do. I can just paraphrase. And so when I was in Chicago, we went and had dinner, and Mark went with us, our president, and it kind of built from there. And, the private equity group, it's really talking to our corporate clients, right? It's the same concept. They're looking to reduce risk, and you start with that particular, the private equity group people, but then you are pretty quickly back down to talking to all of their portfolio. They're called portfolio companies.
Yep.
And you're talking back to usually either corporate person if they're multiple facilities, or even sometimes 2 or 3 single sites.
Yeah, and really establishing best practices across the different operating companies
so
is a big initial sort of offering, I think.
It is. Our role has been for years with several private equity groups, but this one in particular was going in and doing environmental health and safety assessments.
Yep.
Or they would call and go, hey, we've got a problem with this one, what would you do? But it was a compliance issue.
Yeah.
And so that really has been our relationship with them, and that evolved over the years. And so when a sustainability issue came up and greenhouse gas came up more on a volunteer basis, I was lucky enough that because of my established relationship, they called me and said, is this something you can help us with, or do you know somebody that could help us with?
And yes, you did.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and so you brought us, this is in the last 12 months or so, this happened. You brought us to the table, and just talk a little bit about like some of the stuff that we're doing for that private equity group's operating companies right now, and just a couple of ways that we've helped in the short term on the sustainability side.
Right, and I can't, Wendy will have to explain the details of these, but one of the things they were interested in is they did not have a greenhouse gas inventory for any of the particular portfolio companies of their operation. So the greenhouse gas, not necessarily a regulatory issue. They wanted to understand what their greenhouse gases were to even begin to think that's their baseline. How are they going to reduce, right?
Which is big for ESG reporting metrics, and a lot of private equity groups they want to position their portfolio companies for potential IPO or sale, and so that's a big
It's reducing risk.
Yeah,
reducing risk, right. And then the conversation, and you can really talk about the services better than I can, but then it really morphed into taking a look in several different states at their utility bills, making sure that, explain. But we saved them a lot of money in some cases.
Yeah.
So when we're generating working with an organization to be able to help them generate their greenhouse gas calculations, one of the first things that we do is pull utility bills. So electricity, natural gas, they're consistent. We can pull that in, pull the information off of that to run the calculations. Well, when we're pulling those utility bills, there's a lot of information on utility bills, and there's a lot of great information that we can help our clients with as well to make sure they're in the right sales tax bracket, or they're looking at the right rate and procurement rates for their different utilities. And so
They might
we
be
don't just
they might be operating businesses in states that have deregulated purchasing power for natural gas or electricity.
Yeah.
So yeah, one of the longtime foresight sort of like differentiators is we would collect folks' data, just like you're saying, in service of one thing, but then be looking at it from a cost perspective and also save literal money. And so it goes from, I think, and this is the fun part, like the compliance risk, and then all of a sudden you're getting out in front with proactive ESG sustainability risk, and then we're taking it another level, which is, and oh, by the way, we'll save you money while you're doing all of that. And a couple of these operating companies have, I mean, one in particular has saved over $1 million from the work that we did.
Correct. I mean, we've saved them
more than it costs.
way more than we charge them for all the facilities combined. And bottom line is then they've gone on to make their board of directors happy. They've made their customers happy. I mean, it's just been a win.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the beauty of sustainability. Sustainability, one of the pillars of sustainability is profitability. And so we don't just focus on the environmental side or the social side to make those changes. We also focus on the profitability to make sure our clients stay profitable long term.
What a great place to wrap that case study up. I love that so much. And that's really the magic, right? Taking obligation and compliance and turning it into opportunity and value creation for businesses. So awesome. Well, thank you both so much for telling those stories, and thank you all for joining us on the Micro Vlogcast this week. We'll see you next week. Here, you want me to? I can clap myself.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Mark really wants to do it.
Bam, bam.
It looks like Pac-Man. Waka, 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 waka.